Hello, welcome back, or just welcome. We're going with episode 2 of this series where I'm discussing 2025 and my experience with creative burnout and just burnout in general and different ways that I work through it. So last video we talked about creating a space for the artist, rituals, and just different ways of fueling the creative flame. And this video I will be talking about some books that I read that helped me through processing things with myself, with others, and just a bit of like as a person in general rather than as an artist. And while we're going to be doing that, I thought I would spend the day doing a bit of a sketch, and I'm going to use pen for it. And I think it's going to be a fun challenge just because of I'm going to be focusing on the girl's face and the flow of her hair. And for today's sketch, I'm just going to use a ballpoint pen and some Pilot gel pens and red to give some warmth to the artwork. While I'm working on this artwork, I'll just discuss some key notes I took from these books. They're not going to be a review of the actual books themselves. It's just more of a focus of what I took away from them, and hopefully these insights and reflections help you on your journey if you're currently experiencing burnout, or you move past it but you're still recovering and healing. That's what I hope this video helps you with. Okay. So I think I might make her fill this page and then let her hair drift over into the other side. That's what I'm thinking. So I think if we go about this big. But yeah, so the first book, this actually started with a artist that I follow. She shared this chart, and it was the Ikigai chart. And basically this just put it in my head of this concept. And then I was just wandering through the bookstore and I just saw this title. What was it? It was Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. And just immediately I was like, right, I'm buying this and I'm reading this.
And this book was a spark of light for me. Weirdly enough, I feel it gave me a glimpse of the life that I wanted. To have a purpose, simplicity, and happiness in the every little thing. Literally just the idea of Ikigai. That's what I felt I wanted to achieve, was finding my Ikigai. But the book itself explores the concept of Ikigai, as well as happiness of being busy, flow, rituals, stresses, and other methods to ensure a meaningful, long life with minimal worries. I think my biggest takeaway was the idea of doing one task at a time with the intention of not rushing. Because I'm in control of my art and most of the aspects of my life. I don't need to rush everything. Rather, I could be more intentional with my time. Doing this would also allow me to enter flow and microflow easier, which is discussed in the book. The second thing was this desire I got to appreciate life and enjoy the little things like the super centenarians of the book do. But this book gave me that push of wanting more and to be happier. Though a year later I am still yet to find my Ikigai, this book got me started on my journey of getting out of burnout. And the second book was Courage to be Disliked, and that's by Ichiro, Kishimi and Fumitake, Koga. Despite being notorious for being very black and white and very jarring about its concepts, this book helped me through my lowest moment of 2025. I'm not going to go into too much depth because, going off an idea of this book, this event doesn't need any more weight in my life than what I've already given it. But a lot of my anxiety, depression, burnout was spurred from this film degree, particularly from feeling unsafe despite being in a uni learning environment. Basically, things were building up with my film crew. I made a decision that I thought would help. It didn't. In this moment, I was sure I wasn't going to continue uni. This book helped me reflect on the events, where I went wrong, where others went wrong, and a new sense of courage, for I am disliked. As for the topics, this book has a heavy focus on present-shaped people, following the Adler philosophy, and responsibility to life. It says that our past is defined only as much as we allow it, and then we must separate others' actions and beliefs from our own to be happy. The biggest concept for me was the separation of tasks. We all have our own tasks that contribute to the life goals of work, friendship, and love. To be happy, we must separate our own and others. This gave me another perspective on the idea of focusing on what you can control. Another was interpersonal relationships are the root to a lot of problems. This fully recontextualized my situation. It was only a problem because of other people and possible future actions that they would take. By removing them from the equation, I realized how little of a problem the whole experience actually was, especially if I didn't worry about what they did because that's their task, it's not mine. There were so many more ideas, but I think we'll be here for hours. Despite its bluntness and challenging read, this book has helped me a lot moving forward. This book took everything of the last two books and wrapped it up nicely with a bow. It also solidified the relationships I had and determined if I should keep them. The let them theory is the concept of letting go of others' actions, views, and opinions, and taking control of your own actions and emotions. Basically, the separation of tasks. The book applies this theory to multiple aspects of life and gives thoughts to making the separation easier. This allows someone to let go of the stresses of the world and live a happy, authentic life. I liked this book because it reminded me of how often we give our power away to others without realizing it, and we should hold on to it. It really helped me let go of things because I don't need to stress, and the right people will be with me in the end. It helped me understand where some things were going wrong in my life, including all the way back to childhood, so reflecting on that. And I realized I didn't have a lot of the right people in my life, and I was giving my power to them. I also like the idea of grown-ups are children, basically immature adults who haven't been taught to moderate their emotions when they were kids. They will often be the ones that will ruin things. But if you imagine them as 8-year-olds, it's a bit easier. But I think this is a really worthwhile book to read if you're someone who's struggling with managing others, controlling, or just wanting to separate yourself from what other people do so you can actually be happy. And it's a very grounding and tactile book because it gives so many examples and how the theory works with them.
That's all 3 books. That's all 3 of these books. I have read more books since then, but these 3 are definitely the life changes for me of recovering through my burnout and then going uphill sort of thing. I do definitely have other books I've read. I don't think I'm going to give them their own video, but I will definitely mention them. There's the one I mentioned earlier, Red Brick Thinking, and there's Amiee McNee's We Need Your Art. That one I might contemplate talking about down the track. There's definitely ideas in it that I need to put into practice more first. And there's, what is it? I'm currently reading Shadow Work. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'll put the actual correct answer there. I'm also curious of reading, what is it? It's Surrounded by Idiots. So I think that one, again, is just focusing on the interpersonal relationships, because I think for me that's what's impacted my life the most, and that's what pushed me into burnout more than anything. I don't think my art itself is what did it alone, basically. But yeah, no, if you have any book recommendations, honestly, like, chuck them in the comments, and I would definitely be curious to have a look and see if I'd be interested in reading those books. But that's sort of it, really. Yeah, like these 3 books are the ones that I think helped me probably more as a person than as an artist, but they're definitely the ones that helped me through my burnout. And yeah, it was really fun sharing these books with you, and so you get to know them, know another part of how I healed through my journey. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me in this video, hearing what I have to say about these books, and hearing another aspect of my journey out of burnout, and also, I guess, sitting here with my sketching session. Thank you so much for that. But we're going to share the final results. Alright, but I'll see you all next time. Thank you.